Hi guys, I'm Jesse at Strobepro.com, and today I'm showing you the new Strobepro 47-inch Deep Parabolic Softbox. And this is part of a new series that we're introducing. It's a rapid series, so it sets up really quick, and it's a very popular product so far. So let me show you what it includes here. First of all, you're going to get this really nice carrying bag. You've got handles on here, and it's actually got two zippers. One along the top here, and then one along the very end, and that allows you to open up the flap if you just need to grab something out of it quick, or when we open up the whole thing, that reveals everything. So you're going to get your softbox with a speed ring already attached to it. So when you order it off the website, you'll select on the drop-down box, whether it's a Strobepro or Bowman's ring, Alien Profoto, Elinchrom, doesn't matter, just select which one it is and it will come shipped with that. Nice thing about this is that in 4 screws, literally 2 minutes, you can have this changed to a different ring. So this box will go with you if you happen to change brands of strobes in the future. So speed ring on, the actual softbox, and then you're going to have an inner and an outer diffuser that comes with this. So let me show you how to set it up right now. So guys, one of the really nice things about all the Strobepro softboxes is that we have metal speed rings, metal connections, making these things really durable. They'll take years of abuse, unlike some manufacturers out there that have plastic connections here, which tend to break really easily. You're also going to notice on here that the way that this sets up is a little bit different than our other Rapid Pro. This is part of the Rapid series. And the way that these work is we have these spring-loaded clips here. So what's going to happen is when we bend this out, this will automatically lock in there. When we take it down, all we do is we just pull that back, and then it's going to allow itself to collapse down. Now, you want to make sure when we're about to assemble this that you've got the Velcro kind of open. But when you open that, it's going to release the tension of the fabric on the rods. So you want to make sure that when you're about to start here that all of your rods are sitting in their pockets. So if you undo the Velcro and you see a rod has come out like that, you just need to make sure that that is in there, and it just sits right in the pocket like that, because if you assemble this when that's not in there, it's a pain to put in. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start to assemble this guy, and what we want to do, just like on our other soft boxes, when we pull these out, we're going to start here. So I pull the first one out and it's just locking in. So if you saw that, I just pull that, you'll see it click into place there. You'll actually hear it click. Then over here, we're going to go directly opposite. So wherever I start over here. Now I'm going to the other side. Now what I want to do is come over to this side and pull that one up till it locks in. Oops, just got to get a bit of tension on there. That'll lock in. And then go directly diagonal again. So we also just want to double check, make sure no rods have come out and we're still good in there. So those should stay in now that we got a couple poles attached. So now we're just going to continue to go around here, clicking in each rod as we go. You might need to set this on the ground to kind of get some tension to be able to pull it up. And I'm just looking for, if I've got 2 or 3 that haven't been clicked in a row, I just want to go by those and pull them up. And they're going to get a little bit tighter as you get to the last one. And we've got 16 of them to do. And I'm just looking, it looks like I got a couple more that didn't go in. There we go. So they're all attached, so it's going to look like this big spider web when they're all in there. They should all be, there's a slight angle on them, but they should all be pulled up to the top. Now we can just temporarily put this Velcro back. until we are ready to attach that to the strobe. Guys, I just realized when I flipped this over that I missed one of the rods going into the pocket. It's not a big deal. We don't have to disconnect everything. We can put this in. What I want to do is put some tension on this rod to kind of bend it back. And what I'm doing here is just going to flex it till I can get it to pop in like that. Now we're all shaped up and ready to go. One of the nice things about the Deep Parabolic Softbox is that it creates a more directional light than a typical Octabox. What can happen sometimes because of the parabolic shape is that it can create a little bit of a hot spot in the middle. So for that reason, we've designed the inner diffuser with an extra layer in the middle. So if I hold this up, hopefully we can see it on the camera there. This circle in the middle is another layer of diffusion. So we have a two-stop diffusion in the middle to prevent hot spots from happening, going to a one layer on the outside. And the way that we attach that, it's all just Velcro, as you can see there. We're just gonna come into the softbox and just start Velcroing on the side. So again, the easiest way to set that up, I mean, you can put a couple on beside, and then we're going across to the other side. It just makes it a little bit easier to keep the tension on it. And then just go like that. So once we've got the tension, then we can just add all of the other ones now. So pretty easy and straightforward. Now you can really see that diffusion panel in the middle there. Okay, so we've got all 16 of them on. One of the cool things that you can do with the parabolic is you can actually shoot this without the diffuser on and get some really cool looks to it. It's a much more directional light. And the reason people like these so much is that it's going to give you a crisper shadow. So a lot of fashion photographers, portrait photographers like that really detailed shadow. And that's what this box is going to do for you. Now when we add the extra diffusion on the outside, those shadows are going to get a little bit softer again. The other real nice benefit to this is because of the parabolic shape, it's very round. So it gives you those round catch lights in the eyes, which fashion and beauty photographers really appreciate because it mimics the sun. That's the main difference that you're going to see between this and just a regular Octabox. So we've got the inner diffuser in. Now we want to put the outer diffuser in. One of the things you're going to notice about all the Strobepro softboxes is this big wide band of Velcro. The reason that it's so wide is because we put the outer diffuser along the bottom edge of that, and that allows us to put a grid on the top. So both can fit in at the same time. The other nice benefit if you're not using the grid is that it really allows you to feather the light a little bit more. Because the diffuser's back, you've got a little bit of a lip that you can have a little bit more control with that. So just the same way that we put the inner diffuser in, the outer diffuser is going to be the same way. And this is our new crosshatch fabric. It's very durable. Color balance is fantastic on it, and it's very long lasting. So you're going to have 16 kind of little sides, and you just want to find the slight bend. It's a little bit tough to see because of the circular shape of this, but when we find that to kind of bend, we're going to come over and just start pinning them on there. So you can start with 2 of them here, and then what we'll do is we'll kind of go across to the other side to make this easier for us again. So we'll spin that over. And again, I'm just finding the bend in there and just go corner to corner. And all we're going to do now is just go tighten up the last ones. I've pulled off a 47-inch regular Rapid Pro Octabox here just to show you the comparison between the 47-inch Deep. Right away, obviously, what you're going to see is the height comparison. I mean, we're about 10 inches height difference on there. And people wonder what is the actual difference between a regular Octabox and then this Parabolic Deep Octabox. Basically with the Parabolic Deep, you're going to get crisper shadows. So especially when you use this without the front diffuser on it, you can get really crisp shadows, a little bit more controlled highlights as well. Whereas the regular Octabox just tends to be a wider area, so you're not going to get those really defined shadows. They're going to be a little bit softer. Both are great, they're just used for different purposes. So a lot of fashion photographers really like that for that hard kind of edgy look. You know, if you've seen like in Vogue or something, they have like that hard detailed shadow behind a model. That's usually what they're using this softbox for. It also gives you the round catch lights. Both are fairly round. Most people aren't going to notice, but if you want the truest, roundest catch light, you would go with the Deep. This is still going to look fine. Some people just prefer it. You can also use this without the diffusers a little bit easier than you can with the regular Rapid Pro. And those are really the main differences between it. So shape and then depth is what you're really going to see in the two boxes there. So I'm going to show you how to attach the 47-inch Deep Octabox onto the strobe. I've got an X Pro 400 here, which is a great strobe to run with this. And what we're going to do, like all of the Strobepro boxes, is just line up the pins on the speed ring to the pins on the strobe. So here we've got our Strobepro Bowen speed ring on, so 1, 2, 3, which is going to match to 1, 2, 3 on here. One thing you want to make sure, this thumb screw over here, you want to make sure that that's tight. Otherwise, if it's loose, this is going to rotate around and we don't want that. So make sure that is tightened down. Then I usually open up the Velcro just so I can get a fairly good grip on this. And I find it easier to come from behind. So we're just going to line this up, being careful not to smash the glass or anything here. Once it's in flush, give it a quarter turn, and that's going to lock in. From there, all we're doing is just Velcroing up the diffusion panels here. Once those are on, we're good to go. Now you can really see the depth of the Octabox now that it's on the strobe. One thing you want to keep in mind if you're working in a small space, just be aware of how much room that's actually going to use. So if space is a concern, you might want to consider a 36-inch or the regular Rapid Pro, which are almost a foot shallower. Now we're going to take this box apart. To do that, we want to take off the diffusers. And you don't want to just grab from one corner and just rip the whole thing off. It's going to put excess wear and tear on the fabric. So what you can do, just start in one side and just separate it as you go. That's just going to prolong the life of your fabric and the Velcro on it. So once we've got that diffuser off, we're just going through and we're going to do the inner diffuser as well. Again, don't just rip from one corner. You're going to end up tearing that eventually if you do that. Okay, both diffusers out. Now we're just going to detach the rods. One thing I should mention when you're dealing with all this Velcro, don't wear a microfiber shirt like this. It sticks to it and it instantly destroys your shirt. It'll pull those fibers right out. So just a heads up. Okay, so to take the rods down from this box, I'm just going to come over to the side to do it a little easier. Basically, we're just doing the opposite of what we did before, and that is putting the upwards pressure on the rod. So we want to kind of lift up. At the same time we're lifting, I'm just going with I'm pulling up with these three fingers, kind of pulling back with my index and my thumb. So when I pull back, I'm just going to release that, and it's just going to sit there. Again, those are spring-loaded, so really easy. Push up, which releases the tension. I'm putting some downward force on this as I go. So pushing down, lift up, pull down, and we're just going along. Once you get the first couple out, it's really quite easy. And you can just double check, make sure you got them all out. A couple more there. And now those are all out. One thing you want to do before you collapse this thing up, just tighten the Velcro back up. It'll prevent the rods from sliding out of the pockets on the front. So I'm all tightened up there again. Flip it around. And it's folded up. Now we'll just throw it in the bag. So we've got the bag here. You want to put the speed ring down. That's to the end that does not unzip. It'll just make life a little bit easier. So drop that in there, get it all the way to the end. We'll actually open this top here. And then just Velcro the top. Now we're ready to go. We're packed up in a matter of minutes. Super easy, very convenient to travel with now. So guys, when you're ordering this online, just make sure that you select the proper speed ring. So you'll see a whole list of them there. Everything from our Strobepro Bowens, Alien Bees, Elinchrom, Profoto, White Lightning. Doesn't matter, you'll find the speed ring you need there, and it will come pre-installed with that. This is really a fantastic new product. It's the first in the series of our Deep. We also will have the 36-inch as well. If you want something a little bit smaller, you can check that out in the coming days as well at strobepro.com. So check out this softbox, and until next time, I'm Jesse at strobepro.com.